reporting tonight about the fight between Jawan Dallas and those two MPD officers. Fox 10 News just confirming the struggle lasted 3 minutes.
And today we heard from the police chief for the first time since Sunday's deadly encounter. He says the officers didn't use excessive force. And in fact, he says under department policy and Alabama law, the officers could have used deadly force.
Fox 10 News' Ariel Mallory on this part of the story for us tonight. Ariel, do you know why it took the chief 5 days to finally say something?
Yeah, Lenise and Byron, Chief Prine talked about staff absences because of the 4th of July holiday. And he says he wanted to make sure he had the facts straight. Well, tonight, he's pushing back on what he calls misinformation.
I want to offer my sincere condolences to the Dallas family. Our condolences or prayers of the police department, certainly of me, is with the family during this trying time.
Tonight, Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine is telling MPD's side of the story of a deadly confrontation between two Mobile police officers and Jawan Dallas. Chief Prine says when officers arrived at the Plantation Mobile Home Park, Dallas and another man were found sitting in a car at Lot 27. The location 911 dispatchers gave officers, and that Dallas matched the description of a black male wearing red shorts. Chief Prine says the passenger complied, but Dallas did not and took off running.
The officers tackled Mr. Dallas and immediately ensued in a struggle on the ground with Mr. Dallas, who was actively resisting arrest. The officers were able to maintain control of the taser while Mr. Dallas continued to resist and fight.
Chief Prine says during the struggle, Dallas was tased at least twice in the back and attempted to bite one of the officers. Chief Prine says there's no evidence the officers used excessive force.
There was no blunt force trauma, there was no bruising, no contusions. We're simply pending, waiting for the results of a toxicology.
Chief Prine only confirmed one officer struck Dallas once. He says the officers had a right to use deadly force and did not go against their use of force policy.
That at the moment Mr. Dallas attempted to take the taser from the officers restrained themselves very well and had every right under the policy and under state law to implement deadly force, and they didn't do it.
Chief Prine also says Dallas was a convicted felon in possession of drugs and a gun and had 2 outstanding warrants. Live tonight, outside MPD headquarters, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.
All right, Ariel, the attorney representing the Dallas family is firing back after that news conference. Civil rights attorney Harry Daniels contacted us to dispute several comments made by the chief this afternoon.
The opposition do not change. There's nothing that changes from our original position. And so you got to forgive me if we take a different position as to what he's stating versus what the facts are going to show.
Daniel says under Alabama law, Dallas was not required to give his ID card to the officer and didn't have the right to be questioned just because he was in the area where the caller stated the suspect was. Daniel says they'll continue to push for the release of the body camera footage and plans to bring a federal lawsuit against the city of Mobile.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with a part 2 of this Jawan Dallas investigation. You know what's so funny? Now, you heard what they said. They said that the police chief has been waited, 4 to 5 days to respond to this incident. And they said it was Jawan Dallas that was the one that fought the officer and was resisting arrest and tried to bite one of the officers. And then that the officer was tased twice. Funny. Y'all waited 4 to 5 days to even cop up this story. Well, they should have had that investigation. But then they said, well, they have a shortage of staff. Oh, really? Oh, really? Like, you mean to tell me y'all waited 4 to 5 days to even respond? And then they're going to say, well, we have a shortage of staff. You know, no, when the incident happened, the police chief should have did a press conference either the same night or the next day. That doesn't make any sense on why y'all waited 4 to 5 days later of even, telling what their side of the story. Now, they're claiming that Jawan Dallas and another guy that was inside the car. You know, the guy was cooperating, but Jawan Dallas didn't cooperate. He ran, and he was resisting, and he was fought with two of the police officers. But then they said, well, they do have a right to use excessive force. But then again, like, we don't even know what the encounter was about. And again, there's multiple witnesses even said that wasn't Jawan Dallas that was fit the description. Now the police said that it was Jawan Dallas that fit the description, but witnesses says otherwise. So why you want to contradict the witness's testimony of the person that was allegedly breaking into someone else's home? And then now they're claiming that Jawan Dallas is bit one of the officers and tried to run and blah 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 blah. Well, let me say this: sometimes if you're a black man, especially living in Alabama, on top of that, and then police is coming to you, maybe because this black man is scared of you, and then and remember the media try to bring it up his criminal. This is what I can't stand when it comes to victims. When it comes to black victims, they always bring up their criminal past. What he was charged with possession of a use of drugs, blah 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 blah. They always do that to basically justify what these officers did to him. That is straight up funny, ladies and gentlemen. This is mainly the reason. And then the media is using that 911 call. The same couple that was interviewed, even the couple said that wasn't Jawan Dallas that did all of this. But they used that same 911 call or say someone broke into my house and try to do something to my home, me and my girlfriend. But then just because that they did the 911 call, that doesn't necessarily mean that was Jawan Dallas that did that, or that was Jawan Dallas that fit the description of the guy that broke into their home. They're trying to make people aware Jawan Dallas is doing all of this. He was a suspect. He was involved in all of this. So the video you haven't seen yet, the family of Jawan Dallas and their lawyers are planning on to basically push these mobile police officers or police department to release the body cam video of the incident. That's what they're demanding. They demanded transparency. They want to know what happened. And in their side of the story, they claiming that it was Jawan Dallas that attacked one of the officers, that he was trying to subdue them and basically talk about, well, we have every right to use excessive force under Alabama law. But at the same time, if that was the case, why is this man dead? I mean, if they said that the officers didn't do that, if that were true, why did he end up dead? Why did he end up deleted? Excuse me. If that was your story, and y'all telling me y'all waited like 4 to 5 days, I mean, really 5 days to finally cock up this story, or to finally telling y'all that it was Jawan Dallas that was running away from officers, and they thinking that it was him that did all of this, that he was. See, they are trying to basically, they're trying to fit their narrative in support of mobile police department and say, well, yeah, it was Jawan Dallas that fit the description. He did this and this and this without any evidence. There are witnesses that say that wasn't Jawan Dallas. So which is it? Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next video. This is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.